Hello, everyone. This is Kev. This is BlkM being brutally honest. And let me start off by saying, long live the habitual line steppers. All right. Before we get started, I would like to give a special thanks to the Roger Report Live for the list. If you want more insight as to what this list is, I put it in my community tab. So, and it was made with the best of intentions. And I would say the intention was the manosphere should be defining who the manosphere is, and not some outside interest or some hater, because there's lots of things that are being misunderstood right now, and things are becoming quite dramatic around here and in other spaces and in other areas and in other cliques. And yeah, it's it's becoming quite interesting. And what we want you to know is that it's just a list, and it's all good. It's all good. It's ever changing. It's not the end of the world, and it's not the end. It's like we're still pretty new to this space, and it's just a few people that we probably sort of missed. So I mean, we'll see. So the title that I have for tonight is Dissension Among Black Men. What do we do? What up, Roger? Roger Report. Welcome. Okay, I guess once he's ready to speak, he will speak. But trying to just talking here. Okay. All right. Now the discussion for tonight. All right. Hello, Roger. Okay, I guess whenever he's ready to come in. So let me the for tonight. Discussion for tonight is dissension among black men. What do we do? Okay, so what we're going to tackle first are the reasons for such dissension. Uh, there's just a couple things that I'm going to touch on throughout this broadcast. Um, uh, like social conditioning, fake alpha nonsense, ego, the ambition to be better, and impressing women. So let's see here. Let's see here. Okay, I guess Roger, whenever he's ready, he'll come up. Uh, but it's distracting. But let me get into social conditioning for a second. All right, if you're in the Western world, if you're in Western society, you are brought up under a banner of white supremacy. If you're black, you are removed from your culture and given another one. So the idea of solidarity among black men kind of gets lost in the translation when you pay attention to being something that does not identify with you. Um, a lot of people will say that translates into a word I don't particularly like to go to, coonery. Uh, sometimes it's based on one's experience. And whether it's the C word that I just used or one's experience, it seems that we don't forgive either one of them as Black people. There's like the coonery somewhat, yeah, I understand that, but life experiences, it probably takes a little bit, and the empathy is usually not there for us Black men, and we got to take it as it comes. But you know, most of us as men, we try to be strong enough to not need such, get the strength and the support uh, from within instead of, relying on outside sources, which obviously don't seem to have our back that much. And it really is a shame that the first hurdle that we have to climb before anything else is our own social conditioning. I mean, I can admit growing up, I faced a couple problems with it. I mean, doesn't necessarily mean that uh, I started out thinking that I had to impress white dudes, that they were something special, that I had to have me a white girl or something like that. Because when I was a really little kid, I was a black I was a black kind of person. I looked at white as different at a very early age. I was able to separate that, and it was like it wasn't. I acknowledge him as human, but it was kind of different. It felt different. Okay, Roger, are you there, Mr. Stevens?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here. Yeah, I don't know. Something was going on. I don't know what's going on, but I'm here now. How you doing, brother?
All right, what's going on?
Not much. Not much, man.
Okay,
I was trying to catch the beginning, but I really didn't even catch what you got into.
okay. The topic for tonight is dissension among Black men. What do we do? And to explore the various reasons, and just to have a discussion. It's like,
Oh,
what can we do to be better about this?
oh man. I mean, we gonna work together and make things happen. That's all. We
Okay.
just that's what we gonna do. We the habitual line steppers. We work together. We gonna show examples of men working together. Because I,
Okay.
I do hear people saying a lot that black men can't work together. I don't know if I really believe black men can't work together. I think, um, and yeah, in certain instances, yes. I think a major problem is black men have an issue working together under another black man. People are trying to compete. People are trying to get above someone else. And unfortunately for men, sometimes we get too carried away with that type of stuff because we start worrying about people that's not a part of the objective. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If we're trying to if we're a construction company, we're trying to put a building up. Thing is, let's get the building put up. But when you start worrying about stuff that ain't got nothing to do with the building, then you get a problem with things.
Mm.
Yeah. Black folks just got, black men, I'm gonna say, just need to start focusing more on the task at hand and not worrying about the folks that's outside of the task to a certain degree.
Okay. Sounds good. Okay. So I was about to get into some of the some of the little details about this little just little things that might be affecting our ability to avoid dissension amongst Black men. And one thing I wanted to explore was social conditioning, and what I did was touch on something that you have said quite often, that we're raised in white supremacy as blacks in Western culture. Yeah,
Oh, absolutely,
being
absolutely.
being as the first hurdle that we have to pass.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think we want to compete because competition breeds excellence. but we don't want to compete to the point where we're willing to slaughter our own. I think that's the one thing about black men that haven't figured out that other men have figured out a little bit better than us. Other groups of men, I'll say, we'll compete to the point where we're willing to destroy each other, while other folks will compete to the point until they destroy each other.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, before we get off the ground, you just shut your legs up. I mean, but it's quite unfortunate. But it's almost as if you have to stay so far ahead as to not let that happen. Meaning that you probably got to leave some people behind, some brothers behind as well. I think that one thing that people, in this space, and some people in real life have often told me and others like me is that you can't save everyone. I mean, I know everybody would like to, but it doesn't seem something that's going to happen anytime soon or ever, possibly. But if that is the case, why would you be in a space like this or anywhere having discussions about how we're supposed to care about our,
Well, I
you know?
mean, what you saying in space like this, so I'm just say this. At the end of the day, at least we got a good amount of brothers that's here to help other brothers, and I think too many times we discount that because when it comes to this space, what is this space about? It's brothers helping brothers for the most part. Yeah, we'll help some sisters too. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, this is a space where brothers help brothers. So if brothers are voluntarily helping other brothers, you know what I'm saying? We gotta say that's a great thing.
Yeah, I'm glad you're saying that because, in order to build up like your channel to where it matters anything on the financial end, no matter how little or how much you're getting, you have to spend a lot of spare time building it up, being dedicated to perfecting it. Don't you agree? Which means that, that it has to mean something to someone. I mean, the content creator, most of all. And that should not, that shouldn't, I feel like that shouldn't be frowned upon, especially when you see someone is trying. You should want to help the brother any way you can if you are uh what they I would say quote unquote an influencer.
Well, I mean, it's definitely gonna take work, but just like anything else that you get some great benefit from, it takes a lot of work to get to that great benefit. Because even if you just go to a job every day, okay, you don't get paid. Let's just say a person makes 50,000 a year. You don't get paid 50,000 at one time. You got to work toward that 50,000. You have to keep coming in every day, putting in the work, putting in the work, putting in the work,
Mm.
and then eventually you'll get it. Where as the year goes by, you'll be done had the 50,000. That's just the way it works. So same thing if you're a content creator and you want your channel to grow, you gotta put some work in to get it there. But the audience gotta come for something.
Mm.
So you gotta respect your audience at all times. That's the way I view it.
All right, all right. So basically, shouldn't yeah think about your audience first of all. Have the discernment to be able to read your audience properly and know that what you do is going to be productive and give us the ability to move forward. Correct?
Absolutely, absolutely. Gotta stay focused on the positive more than we do on the negative, even though it's hard in today's world.
In today's world, do you think we're attracted to negativity?
No, I mean there's people that are and there's people that are not. I mean it's gonna be a little
I
bit
think
of
I'm
in
over.
everybody's
I
life,
think I'm over.
but if you focus on negativity, I mean you'll be able to find it.
I don't know. I think it's much deeper than that. I think our conditioning allows us to be attracted to such. I mean, it for some reason it's more exciting when people are arguing and fighting and having a pissing contest people just talking and having a civil discussion. You know, it does like on the outside looking in, yeah, I mean it does become a bit nerve wracking and for the very same people that sit up there and say things like that to complain be the very ones causing this stuff. And it's kind of puzzling that drama is the key to getting people's attention. It just can't be a good conversation. In a perfect world it is, but unfortunately it just doesn't seem that way. Yeah.
I get what you're saying, and I can't really just disagree with what you're saying. But see, my thing is, it's about, do you want a fast bill or a slow bill that sticks with you? Because yeah, there's people who act like absolute clowns. They get into different beefs and things like that. They do that in order to grow their channel. But my thing is, when you do stuff like that, that's not your audience.
Mm,
Those people come to see a fight. That's not your audience.
mm,
People who come to see a fight will come to watch the fight, but once the fight stops, then what do they do at that point? They got to find another place that they want to see a fight at. So you can get some numbers real quick, but you're not gonna keep those numbers
mm. I,
unless
I,
you're gonna get into more fights.
I totally get that. I do encourage the confident subscriber base, and I do believe that my subscribers are competent people, just like your subscribers are competent people that want to see good conversations. Because I feel like in order to think about your audience, you have to believe that's who your audience is, and that they deserve better than some dramatic showdown every you know every couple videos.
Bro, I
You know,
think you have a fantastic audience, and the I can hardly think of any place who will have a better audience than you. And I can't think of one spot.
and that's and I totally understand that, and I totally understand.
Yeah, I can think of one spot off the top of my head, but outside of that, it'll be a hard time finding somebody with a better audience than yours,
Yeah,
unless they're
because
also my
I've been
audience
thinking,
too.
I've been thinking about that lately. It was with the group. It was a troll of a good time. People just wanted to troll. Just like group booming and lit and all this other stuff. But with anything on Facebook, it just seemed to me like it just the audiences are different. It just seemed to me like that people are more attracted to the dramatic, shitbag post than they were the positive posts. Like, say for instance, if I'm starting to see more people demoralize our Black history now than I used to see like 10, 12 years ago. Like I noticed in like anywhere on social media, you can do as many Black history posts as you want. Um, that it won't ever, the post won't ever be 1K, 2K, 3K. The 1K, 2K, 3K, you know what kind of post those are. And, there's nothing wrong with a little fun. If it's funny, cool. But, if it involves like just trashing a person, you
But
know,
I'm I'm gonna say it like this: dysfunctional people hang out in dysfunctional places. So even if you have something like a Facebook group, if you put something if you put something in a group that's very functional, the functional people will go to that particular post. But if you put something that's dysfunctional, then yes, the dysfunctional people will flock to that post. And at the end of the day, if you see more posts where dysfunctional people are flocking to, see, I look at it like this: dysfunctional people simply get more time on their hands
mm-hmm,
because they're not doing that much.
mm,
They're doing what they feel they got to do to get by, and they're not striving for anything better. So
yeah,
dysfunctional people have normally was are gonna have more time on their hands than functional people. That's just my guesstimation.
mm, dysfunction. I mean, I think a lot of that might come from the fact that we haven't really taken and I know these two words, when you put it together, is used for shaming. We haven't taken a serious look at mental illness in our communities. and the causes of it. What we have a tendency to do is just point the finger in one direction and just roll with it and act like that nothing that we're doing is wrong. I mean, I feel like it is worth taking a look at, and I do feel like there are answers all over the place, and we just simply ignore.
You know what? I feel a little funnier about the mental illness thing because I look at the mental illness part as, and I could be absolutely wrong, but I look at people saying it's about mental illness as a cop out. Niggas
Yeah,
don't want
yeah,
to act
yeah,
right.
yeah. I agree. And let me clean it up a little bit. Mental illness is something that needs to really be visited upon before something happens. After something happens, like say if it results in the death of a child, I don't want to hear nothing about mental illness after that. But if you definitely see signs and things that are dead giveaways, if you're not visiting it and you're around this person, then you are somewhat complicit in whatever evil act takes place as a result of your lack of attention. You
Yeah,
know.
but see, the angle I was going there is that you have people who are just simply comfortable in dysfunction. If you take them out of that environment, you put them somewhere that's extremely functional, they don't know how to operate. I don't. I'm not saying there is no mental illness in the black community because there's clearly some mental illness in the black community. But the problem is the people who are saying it's about mental illness to me are usually people that's just comfortable with the dysfunction. And they don't really care about people that's actually mentally ill because they're just talking about dysfunctional stuff. So they're trying to, you could, when you take your dysfunctional people, you lump it in with mental illness, and then everybody feels sympathy for you and give you a pass on it. That's really what the attempt is. That's how I see it anyway.
Mm.
You know, because when think about it, when they talk about mental illness, they talk about stuff that's easily preventable. That's not mental illness. That's just you being cool with dysfunction.
Well, I mean, well, I feel like mental illness is like one of the top two or three straw man arguments that people and women especially use whenever someone commits a egregious or murderous act. And the first thing they want to throw up is mental illness.
Well, yeah, because people looking for sympathy in the past.
Mm.
But see, if you don't buy into mental illness, I mean, I'm not like I say, I ain't gonna say mental illness doesn't exist, but come on, man, how many people? What's the percentage of people that's truly mentally ill? It is not that many people at a mental institution. If you compare them to the rest of the population, that's like hardly nobody
Mm.
or hardly anybody, I should say.
Mm,
Think about it. You got about 390 million people in America. How many of them people is actually sitting in a mental institution somewhere? Now, I have no clue, like for real. But come on, is it over 100,000? I
uh,
doubt you can get anything close to 100,000.
I mean,
Now I could be wrong.
when I think of mental illness, it to that extent, I think that I think of a person that is not manageable by normal functioning people, with no professional experience. I think that you need to be in an institution somewhere, or you need to be put in a program that can help you. But our government doesn't believe in helping. They they just believe in profiting. So it's never a serious. It's never a serious look. They'd rather have these people out in the street, doing dumb shit. Yeah.
No, I mean, I get that, but my thing is mental illness means there's something actually wrong with you. If you're just a person when nothing's wrong with you, you just don't want to act right, you're not mentally ill. You're just a person that don't want to act right. And my thing is, I'm not going to shame people with an actual problem and compare them to people who don't have it. I ain't gonna do that. I always say that there's two legitimate excuses a person can always make. They would include death or a hospital. If you're supposed to be somewhere and you didn't get there, and you say, "Hey, man, you know what? I was on my way, but then I fell off my front porch and I ended up going to the hospital." What am I supposed to do other than understand? You know what I'm saying? I got to understand. Okay. If you were supposed to come to a particular event and then you call me and say, "Man, you know what? I was on my way, but my son was in a car accident and he passed away." What am I supposed to do other than understand? You see what I'm saying? Those are serious things that affect people and affect their plans. But if you just telling me I'm gonna be by or I'm gonna drop this off, and then you say, well, man, I was coming, but I was watching this movie and I got sunk into the movie and it was messing with my mind. Man, get out! I ain't trying to hear all that.
Mm. Okay.
My
Uh,
thing is let the mentally ill be the mentally ill, and let them have their own category because they're people with special needs at the end of the day. If you're not a person with special needs, I don't want to hear you talk about you mentally ill. I don't want to hear that. You're just
yeah,
making excuses because you don't want to do what you need to do. That's how
yeah.
I view it.
Well, shout out to Gerald. Gerald's in the chat. What's going on?
What's up, Gerald?
Yeah. So, okay. So basically, you're saying is that people, and when, okay, on this channel, when I say people, I say women, I say men, you should automatically assume I'm talking about black people, melanated African American, whatever, like, you know, ADOS, whatever you want to go with, you know what I'm talking about. So, just saying, just saying.
You know what? Matter of fact, I'm actually related to people. I got a person on each side of my family. I never thought about it, but I got people on each side of my family that actually have mental issues. They cannot get along in society like regular people unwatched. They can't.
Mm,
Those are mentally ill people. You see what I'm saying? They have to have help. One needs help pretty much all the time. There's another
mm,
one. You can let her in the room and watch TV for a while or whatever the case is. You can let her do certain things, but she still needs somebody to kind of watch her. Because if you let her go too long by herself, she gonna be in something she ain't got no business doing.
mm, mm.
You see what I'm saying? So
Very
so
much.
maybe that's why I look at stuff differently. I ain't think about it, but you know what I'm saying. But maybe because I've been around people with mental issues my entire life. You see what I'm saying? Because I got relatives that have actual mental problems. So when people start telling me, "Oh man, you know what? It's about mental health," and no, you are totally functional people. You just don't want to function properly.
Yeah, I think.
So,
Yeah, I
so
think. Well,
yeah,
yeah,
I'm just not gonna let you get away with it. Basically, that's all I'm really trying to say. I ain't gonna let you get away with it.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I have a couple of mentally impaired people in my family, and I do understand mental impairments and like you're right. Functional people that can at least complete a sentence should not be using this excuse. There's a choice. You can behave or you don't want to behave. That's it. Take some responsibility for yourselves and understand that there's no excuses for a lot of the shit that goes on out here. Yes, I do feel like that mental illness needs a tough visit in the black community, but I think that we need to have some honesty with that shit too. So,
Yeah, yeah. And don't get me wrong, I'm never gonna say there's not mentally ill people in the black community. I just don't think it's any type of real significant percentage. That
all
I
right.
don't believe.
Okay. Well, before we get off into a tangent, let's try to get back on topic. We're talking about dissension amongst black men. What do we do? All right. So go ahead.
Dissension amongst black men. Okay, well, you got dissension amongst black men. Probably got too many niggas worried about some hoes.
Yeah. One of them is impressing women and looking like the big dog in front of all the females and everything. Like,
Man,
here's one thing with me. I'm married, so I have no need to impress any other female. I only care about what she thinks and raising my kid and how we are as husband and wife and how we are as parents as well. So aside from all that, what some sack chaser thinks or what some what some person who is I don't know just using harsh words thinks I give very little to no importance to it like that. I mean, if you start with the insults, I mean, I can joke if I got a little time. I can roast if I got a little time. I'm not a very good roaster, but I know how to cut people. But
hmm
It's always that guy. It's always that guy. It's like, this miss what usually missing in things like that is context. They usually walk in the middle and just start swinging a sword. Well, not really a sword, a butter knife. Start swinging a butter knife and then don't know what the fuck he doing. In the conversation, it's called it. Like I guess a lot of these people online they get into these things called I guess debates, and then they're misconstrued as arguments. Because somebody might sprinkle in a cuss word every now and again, but you got to look at how the person is handling it. Why do dudes feel the need to do that if everyone in the conversation is adults? Roger.
Hey, bro, when you online and people are having debates or even an argument, whatever, because debates and argument technically the same thing anyway. Um, if you are debating a point, I get where you're coming from. But if you're debating in a way where you're trying to put somebody down or lift yourself up and all that type of stuff, okay, see, at that point, it ain't even about what the debate is about. You just trying to impress somebody because you don't feel significant in your own life. And you're trying to get somebody to cheerlead you.
Yeah.
Which is kind of sad, in my opinion, if you're a grown person online trying to get strangers to cheerlead you. That doesn't make sense to me.
Trying to popularity contest. Because if you makes no sense to me, it's just not gonna matter if you're a male or female.
Yeah. Yeah. My thing, if you are truly about whatever's being debated, you'll get some cheerleaders regardless. You don't have to worry about trying to get a cheerleader.
All right. Gerald, what's
Hey,
going on?
how you brothers doing, man?
Doing all right, doing all right. What's going on, Gerald? Always good to see you. You know that, brother.
Yes, Raj and Kev, it's always good to talk to you brothers. Always good to see your shows. I've been slacking off your shows because I've been wanting to take another approach around it because I've been going not another way, but I just been sort of going up the ladder and then I'm coming back down the ladder. And I saw your list of people that are shows that you like. You did forget Mail and Light with TV, Raj. You forgot that in the manosphere, but I've just been looking at economics and money. Now, to the show, as you say, the dissension between black men, y'all must remember, you cannot take away the power of a government for the last 40 years, at least 40 years, and how they develop programs to take the father out of the household and simultaneously that brought a lot of tension, that brought a lot of gang warfare. And so what's going on with men is, man, it aids them in making money. Understand me? Because you got gang warfare, you got this. And see, I grew up before you brothers when brothers from different neighborhoods did get along. We got along very well, and then the gang violence and all that happened. So
But who was that? There was somebody a long time ago on Vlad TV. That white guy that all those black people went to and talked to and gave them all their little information and such.
yes,
He made it come up off us. Ooh.
yes, he
Well,
did.
I forgot who said. I forgot who said it. I should have made a note of it. Yeah, I should have made it my business to remember this guy's name. But he said that gangs were the worst thing that ever happened to the black community. They were agents for white supremacy, and they were pretty successful in carrying out whatever their missions were.
Could that have been Lord Jamal said that? The rapper Lord Jamal might have said that. He might
He
have.
might. I'm not real sure. I'm not.
I don't know if I even agree with that though. I don't even know if I agree with that. Yeah, gangs have done a lot of damage, but looking back at it, to me, you gotta say is removing the fathers from homes. You had women feeling comfortable being rebellious to men.
Yes.
Plus, you had too many. The other ones, they wanted to be they child's friend. Those two combination of things, I think, really kind of messed up the black community. Gangs, yeah, I get it because gangs is on the front line of who tore up what. But if you don't factor in the fact that the men were not there, and then you got these women trying to be they child's friend, you don't have the gangs in the first place.
Well, to to not backdoor you, but to sort of run along that track. I can remember now. This dude, I got to give this guy props, and I know he don't listen to the show, but I've been trying. I'm gonna actually introduce him to the show. His name is Greg Harper. He's from a town outside Louisville, and I remember when rap came out, and he said that, "Gee, this is gonna be the downfall of us," and I never understood why he said that. At the time, he was a DJ when DJ wasn't popular, and it wasn't even cassettes wasn't out yet. It was just albums. And he said, this is going to be the downfall. I never got it. Now let's speed it up. The last time I remember when hip hop was conscious and it was great, it was Public Enemy was maybe one of the last ones. And then they had Dissension. And then came along a group called NWA. Till this day, I still have a problem with Ice Cube. I like his music. I love his music. It's good. I love the beats because we're rhythm.
Whoa! Ice Cube. Well, why you got a problem with Ice Cube? Well, many people say that Ice Cube was a smart one. You know, he got from under the white man. You know?
Well, Kev, let me show you why I said it. Now, this is nobody else. Me. I like Ice Cube. I like his music, but that what came with that was the word
Vaseline. Vaseline.
And niggas with attitudes. Before it was niggas with attitudes, I'm telling you, I can go different places, even in New Orleans, Magnolia Projects. I can go to the Calio. I remember still I could walk among these projects and go see some of my friends I went to college with. I would not dare go there now because somehow they picked up that attitude, and this is the way things. It only come back to conscious now, but it's too separated now. So that sort of goes with the black men and how we're separated. Because when Ice Cube and NWA came, niggas with attitude, that's exactly what came. An attitude, and the separation came. And it's worldwide now. I mean, like I told y'all on one show, you cannot sleep on the things that's going on in Toronto, Canada. It amazes me. These are brothers, and these brothers have this show. This could go to them. These brothers have a real hate for each other, man. It's amazing. You know, that's why I say I'm old, man. I seen it when I can walk up to a brother like Raj and you and just shake your hand. Don't know you. We can break bread, talk fun, have friends come over to my neighborhood. It's all good. Now, man, I don't want to go out the fucking house. And I'm in another country because I know what social media and the brainwashing that has happened. My ass is old. I have punched the clock of time and seen some crazy shit. And like that's why sometimes I like sitting back on you guys' show because y'all the young blood to me. So I have to listen and psychologically live through the things that you say and what's going on in your life. I have to respect Roger living in Chi-Town, Chicago. At one time, Chicago was the place to be for the blues festival. Everybody around the world wanted to come to Chicago and check out their pizza. That's when DePaul University was number one. DePaul University was the shit. Now you don't even know how to spell the word DePaul. What the fuck just happened in my lifetime? I'm just keeping it real. Just keeping it real. So, Kev, their money, the United States money, has been put into so many programs that the only thing that developed all this, man, was a four-letter word. HATE. Everybody hate everybody, man. Seriously. Sad. Now I'm old, it's sad. It's very sad. It's very sad, man. Very sad.
Yeah, I mean, why do another brother advance? Wouldn't you, like, if you see another brother like feet ahead of you and you know him, wouldn't you want to ask that brother how you got there instead of trying to pull him back down to your level?
Kev, exactly. But see, this is where you have to pull out Willie Lynch, and on your show, you need to read the philosophies of Willie Lynch, How to Make a Slave.
And you know what? I'm glad you said that because that is a planned broadcast.
Good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm glad to help you because it's real. It is real. It's real, y'all.
It's hard. It's hard to look at the effects that we got right now and say that it ain't real. But I'm gonna say this: too many men. I mean, at the end of the day, their mama got them on that stuff. You know,
Ooh.
you grow up in the house. No, I'm just keeping it real. You grow up in the house, right? A lady is raising you. She's raising you the way women think. What do women want to do all the time? Women are in constant competition with all the other women because
Yes.
they're not in competition when it comes to resources. They'll compete with men for resources. Think about it. Women try to look good when they go to the club because they want to outdo all the other women. But when they go to work, they're in competition with men. They don't compete with each other at work. They basically friends at work because they don't view it as competing with each other. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So they so these guys grow up in this household where people cannot stand men competing. Can't stand men competing. See what I'm saying? And the boy is picking up on that. Now as that boy grows up, he sees the lack of respect for men, especially men that's about something. He sees that lack of respect. Okay? Now as he's growing up, witnesses lack of respect, he get a certain view of how women view men. And it ain't gonna be a good one. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
So now he has this particular view as he's growing up. What is he gonna do? He's going to try to compete with the other men and be better than them and have that same attitude that there can only be one. Because what do women do? They group together and talk about that one man. Women don't get together to talk about how we can get that crew of men. They get together and say, man, you know what? I got to have him. He the tallest, so I got to have him. He got the pretty eyes. I got to have him. He got the muscles. See, well, when guys group together looking for women, we'll look at the women and say, man, I take this one, I take that one, okay? Or basically, we're gonna let the woman pick, and we just gonna take what we come up on. But with them, they will. If this 5, 6 guys, they pretty much all want the same one because everybody got to be the winner. And guys who grow up under that way of thinking, when another man is doing something, now he can't like it because he got to be the winner himself. So I can't have him be a winner, and I'm not a winner. I got to tear him down. It's
Kevin,
just a woman's way of thinking.
Kev, do you know what he just described? He just described modern day movies in Hollywood, man. Fuck.
Mm,
I told you, Raj, you good, bruh. I told you, Raj, you are good. He just described movies at a theater. Matter of fact, he just described everything on BET. Everything
mm,
on BET is bitch driven. Sorry to mean to call you women bitch driven, but that's what they calling y'all. Everything on BET is driven toward females. Why don't they drive things toward business? I don't want to hear Ti talk about voting. I don't think Ti took civic class like I had to take it. I had to take civics in high school, bro. I went to a Catholic school. I didn't have a choice. I'm glad I didn't have that choice. And I
well,
was
that's what they call being woke and conscious. You wake up to these things after a lifestyle of messing with the hoes and and smoking and shit.
which comes right back to your show, the title again, the title,
Yeah,
dissension among black men. He just gave you the ingredients, of what's going on, and I think they call it now. They call it MK Ultra, and
yeah,
that's exactly what they did to us. So when you break those MK Ultras of that psychological chain of thinking, you become a problem now, because you're a thinker. And you guys, habitual line step is getting that way. I just think that it's everybody now. Like I say, Mel and Light Me TV, they talk about economics and money. Black Ram talks about facts and logic. Kevin Samuels, though, I'm not knocking him. I'm not knocking Donovan Sharp, but I just, the solution is to take care of yourself. That's the solution. Kev, you have a family, so you have to think as a college, empire, because you have a daughter and you have a wife. You have to think different. Raj, he's young. He's 43. He's single, so he's at the cross of like, I could go this way or go that way. I would tell my advice to you, Raj, being my age, is to put on them shades. Be very close with the people you talk to. Even build this up to you. We really actually see each other and talk and build, even though we're from afar. We just got to do it and try to network and connect things, because this ain't 1960. This ain't 1980. This is the fucking 21st century. This is some crazy space age pimping shit. It
Yeah.
is, man. It really is, man. This
Hey,
is yeah,
hey, hey. Well, let me say this though. I think Roger Shade's already on. So just you
yeah,
can get confirmation from him on that. But
yeah, man. And put them Ray-Bans on, man, because you in for a long ride. And being that spirit, that's your daughter, Kev. You know, the things that you have to even warn her against brothers, it's like amazing because I'm hurt that people, young brothers who look like us, are acting a fool, man. It's just
yeah. I mean, I'm not going to deny that there's quite a few things that I have to warn her about once she comes to that age. Thank God I only have to worry about her reading and learning little basic math and writing her ABCs and such. But
right, right. That's a simple thing,
we'll cross that bridge when we get there. I do understand, but as long as the uncomfortable conversations happen, then maybe it won't be that bad in the next 10, 15 years. But if we're not having these conversations now, it's looking pretty bleak.
yes,
If we find ourselves in a state of complacency, then we're fucked. Period.
yes. Agree. The politicians, they really pimping this life, man. They really have people living in fear,
Yeah.
you
Speaking
know.
of politicians, yeah, I watched some of that vice presidential debate. Really, neither one of them was really saying anything for real. Like it's nuts how it really feels like it doesn't matter. At this point, it's like everybody's terrible.
Yeah, it's that's a whole nother category and a whole nother conversation. The only thing I can say is that can even get this vid for me saying this. I'm just glad Trump is trying to go after child trafficking, and I don't think people really taking this serious. On that alone, people should stop and pay attention. Like, wait, I don't care if you're Democrat, Republican, liberal, this and that. This is a human thing, y'all. Children, really?
Mhm.
So by him on that, I have to like go with Emmerich TV and Amina and have to tell him, yeah, thumbs up, kudos for that, man.
But you know what? I'll say
What?
this: any true effort, commendable for. I mean, that any true effort for forward motion in stopping child trafficking seriously is commendable. I can't deny it. I mean, if it's President Trump or President whoever, if
Yes,
if you're stopping child trafficking, that's a good thing. Seriously,
Okay,
like
well, let me say this real
it's
quick
not.
because I gotta get out of here. I gotta get out of here. But when it comes to the election, I'm gonna say this: y'all should check out the show I did this morning.
No,
Especially the first 10 minutes.
uh-huh.
My stance on how people make votes and the decision making they do with the votes.
mm,
Yeah, I did a show called Backbones Matter. Okay,
You okay?
y'all, I can't really say what it is right now because I'm gonna make a move. But when you get a chance, listen to at least the first 10 minutes of that. It was so powerful. I was like, oh, this nigga brilliant.
Okay. 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 Okay.
When I went back to check it out for myself, but it's about the way people make the decisions on who they're gonna vote for. Cause I'm
Okay.
so past a 2-party system, and niggas can't even see what I'm. Well, a lot of people can't see where I'm going. But if they would just start to look at it a little bit differently, like I do, we get much different results.
Oh
All right,
yeah.
y'all. I'll see y'all a little later. All right.
Okay, Raj.
yeah, man. Cool. Cool. Thanks, Roger, the Roger Report, for stopping by. And check him out Monday through Friday mornings. It's got a real good show going on over there. Hmm.
Uh, uh, I got the best show on social media going on over there. That's what I got. All right.
It's confident.
uh, but yours is pretty good too, Kev. You know yours is good too. You right behind me. You right behind me. All right, bro.
All right.
All right, later.
Later.
Later. Yeah, that's a real confident guy that Roger is. A little bit too
Hey,
confident sometimes. But you need that in this day and age, especially as a black man.
Yeah, you know what? I have to give you this credit though, because it's because of you and your show that linked me to these guys' shows and actually linked me to the manosphere. I was already there, but you know, to go down the rabbit holes and see different people's views. See, this is like I said, you talking about. Let's use the word unity, and this is what they didn't want to. They made sure we didn't come together so we wouldn't build. One thing they don't want, Kev, is they don't want us to have any possibility of building. Of building. They don't want us to build. And I think there was a Virginia senator back in the days of maybe 1400s, whatever those hundreds. He said that we have almost extinguished the light in the tunnel for the black people, for the colored people to ever come back. Now, this was said in the 1500s. Why can't nobody bring that up? See, I understand the strategic thing of even your show, the dissension, because I had a piece of me just seeing you, and instead of saying, nigga, what you looking at is what's up, brother, and say, how you doing, man? My partner T, that's in Toronto. That's this guy, that's my friend right now. When I first saw this brother here in Canada, it was good to see somebody who had brown skin like me. First thing I walked up to him is, how you doing, brother? Me and this dude are cool to this day. Now he's young. He was not used to that. I was like, wow. He wasn't used to that. So, and he said in a way it freaked him out, but when he heard my southern slang and said, oh, this dude is an older brother, he knew then like I was okay. Me and him are cool right till this day, till this very second. So, you know, I hate that they took that from us. I really hate that, man. I hate it. It's division. It's if I would want something back from among us, from young to old, I would want that back first, because that builds that strength. That strength builds to maybe women want to come around, but I think right now women have to submit a resume, and from the way they transferred so much wealth to the other side and away from us, I don't see them ever coming back. I don't see it. Again, I have that penny check that's on my wall to prove it to me. And every other woman has adopted this poison that even Marcus Garvey talked about. He said, if you don't watch yourself, you drink the American or the white man's poison, you will soon be poisoned and you will surely die. So, you know, I mean, it hurts. I'm really hurt just to see, because now I got to let my heart out and talk about this. To get this show, the show is already credible. Want some more stats on it. I want people to listen. We got to fucking talk. And we separated. We better be glad we got this part of communication. This is a part of community. I don't know you, but I'm glad that I know you, maybe in the spiritual world. I'm glad that this universal creator even connected us, you know, because if I come up, you know, I definitely plan on doing some things with a little bit of life I got. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, shout out to Polo Nice. Thanks for commenting. They commented. Right, they want to keep us neutralized. Here's my challenge to black men. This is a problem that we have been identified for years and years and years. Our own dissension, our own, our own neutralization. We've been able to identify, when are we going to do something about it? When are we going to start doing stuff to curb it? I understand it. We have certain walls to climb, but when are we going to say, stop and say, hey, there's some things that we need to do now that we know what the problem is. Or would we just like to keep going with the BS?
Easy, like I said, Bill. It's you got to understand, Kev. They're afraid of us. They know something about us that we don't know, and I still say it's got to be money, economics, and building. Because let's just say that us as brown skin men. Now I'm gonna say something, real simple. I'm gonna take this to I'm gonna walk down the money road. We're so dangerous that brothers, all the brothers in the United States, could put a quarter, just 25 cents together. Within 24 hours, we up and running. That's dangerous. That's dangerous to them. Very dangerous. And I'm just talking about adults. Now keep going down to the different levels. Fathers, sons, Pookies, Ray Rays, dudes that want to get their head right, tired of the shit. It is easy. Trust me, man, with this pandemic, we should have had our own anyway. As far as brothers, we shouldn't have been hurting. You can't be a culture that consumes over $1 trillion in economics in 1 year, and we ain't got a
But you know where that money goes. It goes into
Jordans.
things. It goes into looking good.
Yep.
Will Smith said this one time. We as a people, we spend too much money trying to impress people that we don't even like.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, and that really rings true by our sense of economics in our community. We're not talking about things like generational wealth. We're talking about superficial stuff.
And again though, Kev, look what you look at every day that programs your mind. The MK Ultra instrument called television.
Yeah. When and you have to forgive me when I think of MK Ultra, I don't know. I guess I be thinking about Mortal Kombat. It
No.
is like Mortal Kombat Ultra or something like Ultimate Mortal Kombat. Like these tinfoil hat conspiracies, which I think a lot of them do have some kind of validity to it, but just like who was that? It was that basketball player Jalen Rose. Like he was in a skybox and he just like turned into a mannequin.
You saw that?
Like, yeah, I saw that. And it was like, I'm like, nobody thinks this is weird.
Yeah. Again, Kev, 99. Listen to me, man. 99% of everything we've been educated on, everything. Listen, brother, wrap your mind around the word. Everything has been a lie. Has been a fucking lie. They didn't teach us science right. They didn't teach us math right. And if they ain't gonna teach us right, we ain't gonna act right.
Miseducation. That's what you're talking about. A miseducation.
Yeah, man. And I'm not talking about just us black folks, which we're really not black, because if you look at your skin tone, you may be light skinned.
Crayon theory. I figured that out when I was like in kindergarten. I look at crayons and then I look at what they call me. I'm like, look at this black crayon. I'm not nearly this dark. Like, come on, I'm brown. I would take the brown crayon and I'll be like, well, I'm closer to brown than I am to black. But the understanding was they called us black people. So I just roll with it.
You know what I'm saying? And now that I read it in the Black Law Dictionary, because that's one thing they did to us is they kept us from reading, and that hurt. But I knew one thing we knew how to do. We knew how to count money and build. And it's amazing how everywhere around the United States, you just bombed our shit, didn't want us to have shit. Not talking shit about my people who's in a way of confusion and got caught up in the trap. Because things are about to separate. I'm telling you, man, you're going to have to revamp your way of thinking, especially economically.
Yeah.
They finna switch shit on us. And the ones who can't hang, they can't hang. There's going to be some demolition man shit going on now.
Yeah. Shout out to Bianca. She would be on panels with us in the past. She would be on Donnie's channel and she'll pop up on Ryder's channel. She uses 2 words, financial literacy. And that's something I think that our people, I mean, even if we got to offer classes in it, I think that's something that is very important that our people do need and, do understand, how to have a financially competent lifestyle. And I mean, but you know what though? That is one of the useful things about the Black Manosphere. there are guys in the manosphere. I mean, some that are on that list, some that aren't, that will be placed on the list eventually, that can teach you about things
Male
like
Enlightenment, Male Enlightenment TV, Male Enlightenment, man. This Ohimi from New York, a young brother be going in, man. He be like he say, he goes monk mode. He said, forget it, man. They bring nothing to the table. They work on our mentality with sexism, like the commercial with vote going to the poll and put the strippers up on the pole. Like that was really embarrassing to the culture, man. Like,
No, I mean they like I did feel like that was somewhat of an insult because that's how they view how they get our attention through ratchetness and shit. And look at what they push in the media. Look at what you see on social media now. You see a lot of whole stuff going on. You see whole defenses all over the place. I mean,
yeah.
shoot, they defend hoes more than Claire Huxtable types now.
Oh my
Say
God.
say anything a little negative about Megan Thee Stallion or Cardi B, and watch all kinds of insults, all kinds of incels and you gay fly at you.
Man,
It's like we really lowered the bar here. I mean,
man.
and it's like if they those two girls chasing money, good, fine, whatever. They're sustaining, they have sustainability. But it's like, don't come to me defending stuff like that. Defend like Sukiyama. Yeah, that girl. Yeah, what a character. She can do whatever she want to do. Hey, whatever.
Back
But like, what do you look like defending something like that?
back to
Nobody
it.
wants their daughter turning out like Sukiyama. I don't care what anyone says. The inevitability is some of y'all daughters gonna turn out like Sukiyama. I know I'm gonna do my best as a father because honestly, for real, like me personally, I would feel like a failure if my daughter even taking the first step into being like that. And we have to admit, we have to have the spine enough to admit that seriously. As men, for our own daughter's sake, we have to have the spine enough to admit that. I'm not going to defend shit like that. I don't want to use that as an example. I don't care. But you know what what these dudes say? You know what these dudes say? Man, why you so pressed about celebrities, man? Why you be letting it get to y'all? Oh my God. Personally, I'm looking for a woman like that. I was like,
What?
I was like, for
What?
real?
I told you, man. Between the Matrix, MK Ultra, it's like, yo, man, it's like a movie. Just sit back and just watch it. It's like you would not think in 1,000 years that somebody like Cardi B or Megan Thee Stallion would be of importance.
Times have changed, sir.
Like,
Times have definitely changed. Because
wow.
see, like we're at ages where we had seen better. We had seen a higher standard. A standard that was pleasing to both the man and the woman. I mean, and speaking of women, shout out to Rainy Woman. She was in the chat. It's always good to have you. But but not only have we gone for a lifestyle that most of us wouldn't do, we're defending it. We're defending the hell out of it.
Hey, no, you got to speak for yourself. I ain't defending this shit. I'm not defending that.
I'm just trying to give a general picture of what I see. Just being insulted because you expect better from people. But
So,
they shout at you about what leadership you're supposed to lead, without clarifying what their definition of leadership is. And I honestly don't think they're really talking about leadership anyway. I mean, I think what they define as leadership, what I think they're actually talking about is submission.
let
And
me ask
I'm not a submissive type. Sorry.
Kev, I want to ask you this.
But look,
Do you think that the way there's so much dissension and separation between brothers, do you think that this has a trickle down effect towards all the rest of this shit that's going on?
I mean, it's to the detriment of how black men can lead and function. I would say that it's like with the dissension we have, we cannot ever know what it's like to function as a unit. If we were able to function as a unit, as a community of black men who were ripped from our heritage in the first place, but the thing is, what's so great about our people is that we are always able to find our way back. If men can find our way back completely, we should run into no problems with the rest of the world. But the problem is, you got to think about it. Why are there so many efforts to keep us apart? Because they know how we would be if we were together. We'd be something serious. It's no doubt in my mind. I do believe that. The sad part about it is I probably never see something like that in my lifetime. I mean, I'm 44. I mean, as long as I keep myself healthy, I'll see pretty much a good portion of the future. But you never know what can happen. It's like you don't know when you never know when your time is coming. Like right now, I would say, like let's get back to dissension. Right now, I would say to your average 28, 29-year-old, I'm already got one foot in the grave. I'm already retired. I'm already walking on the water. I'm taking Geritol because that's what we do as a people. And I mean, this is pretty much a dissension among men and among women. We always try to find a way to listen to a person that we don't agree with, even if the information that they're giving is tangible and true. We always try to find a way out of it. And I can't tell you how many times I've been called old just to get out of having a serious conversation. Especially from younger men. Now, I mean, whether you thought that somewhere earlier in your life that you should have had a role model, a black man role model to step up and guide you through your troubled times, and a guy like me wasn't there for you, I'm sorry to say that, hey, you know what? Some people just live in different parts of the United States.
Yeah.
But now that we're running across each other in circumstances such as these, the way we're able to connect through social media, we can start from now because everybody is adults here. I don't have when it comes to like a 30-year-old, I don't have to feel like that I'm talking to a child. Now, if it'd be different if they were like 13, 14, 15, like they be acting whenever they call somebody old. Like,
right.
What? You need advice on your prom date? What's going on, guy? Seriously. I mean, but what I'm saying is we got enough shit breaking us up. We got enough shit breaking us up from within. I ain't talking about white folks now. I ain't talking about white supremacy is a cause to this effect, but not talking about it right now. We got enough barriers. Why put up any more barriers? And I think a lot of it has to do, with personal accountability. But a lot of that shit got to do with that name you brought up earlier, Gerald, Willie Lynch.
Willie Lynch tried to make us like, well, like I said, we've been through, as a people, we've been through so much, I mean, and one thing they use so many tools, religion, because remember, we're descendants of the brainwashing, and then they're brainwashing the other ones that's behind us, which are the young now. They really gone. But again, they're very powerful because all they have to do is stop the madness among themselves and realize what's going on, and they up. See, I told you, man, we're powerful. There always has to be a reason for why they're doing it, and I get it. Because remember, we had it at once. Asheville, North Carolina, in Houston, Texas, in Shreveport, I seen it too. Wall Street, you're talking about the places around Wall Street. It's still about economics with us, and we still ain't getting it. We ain't getting it. We just ain't getting it. So, that's why it is. And it's money. It's money because they're making money. The system is making money off this because this is why they have prisons. Prisons is money for the elite. Yeah.
And speaking of which, the prison system is benefiting off the dissension of black men.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, but and Roger were bringing up how they're raised by their moms, but a very overwhelming percentage of the prison population were raised by their mom and their mom only, so that does have that connection. What they do in the prison system is they basically use those guys to put them back into slavery, have them working for like shit wages, like maybe 1 cent an hour.
Yep. As Umar Johnson called it, slave ship on land. That's what he called it. I give him the credit. A lot of people don't like the dude, and I get it why they don't like Umar because of that money situation. But
yeah, I mean, like it's not it's some of the messaging, but I do feel overall Dr. Umar does mean well, and like a lot of that, he simply suffers from being a black man. That's what it boils down to.
yep.
And you know, like to connect black men and suffering would seem like victimhood, but you know, we get a lot of shit from everybody. I mean, and I'll always be an advocate. You ain't got to stop saying this shit because all you're doing is piling up evidence for me. So take that how you want to take it. But yeah. But he has a point right now. I admit that.
Yeah, man. It's real, man. It's real. So now we know that we have a lot of dissension. It's been going on for years. We already know what to do. It's simple. They just got to do it now. That's gonna be the hard part.
But you know, me being a it's just that me being an older gentleman, you know, I feel like at least a lot of my age group, you know, we got it, but a lot of my age group didn't. You know, I do have to at least put that out there that you know we had a lot of dissension in our age group too, and it'd be over the dumbest bullshit, and it'd be over the most like say hurtful bullshit too, because it really like you know how like I think I talked about this the other night. Is you know being in a group of friends, you all go to the same job,
Right.
and then all of a sudden you get promoted out of all of your friends,
So
and then all of a sudden all their attitudes change toward you.
that's that with the lynch shit, man. I didn't care. I didn't care. Somebody got a promotion. I took the Richard Pryor approach. Man, I'm happy for you. In fact, I'm still happy for people who achieve certain things. You know, I know some guys here, white dudes. One guy was telling me he wanted to go to plumbing school. Everybody dogged him out, and he looked at me. I said, "Man, that's wonderful. You trying to upgrade your life? Forget what they say. You move on and you go get it." He's a plumber now, and he always tells me, he "Say, man, you was the only one." So you got to understand this. This brainwashing just didn't work on one side of the fence. It worked on other side of the fences too. So I have that. So I know what they did to us. I think they might have rehearsed this shit on us to perfect it over the world. That's what I said. I said it. When the lynch man, they practiced that shit on us. And they
it really takes it really takes a devious mastermind to pull off what they have pulled off with us and was able to get away with it in ways that are unimaginable.
I couldn't have said it no better, brother.
Yeah. But I want to touch on something. Polo Naya said, Polonius, y'all speaking that Kinglish.
Wait, we speaking at what? Wait, what did he say?
Kinglish. Basically, he said we're speaking the King's English.
Oh,
that something as small as that causes dissension among brothers.
Hey, let me send this out to Polo. Hey, Polo, come on, man. Come on the show and talk. You got a voice. Come on.
Yeah.
I would say it.
Okay, the link. Feel free to step up. You know, if you want to hit the link in the chat.
Yep. Tell us life from your angle. This is just angles of life.
No. But I get it though. I get what he's saying though. I get it. It's like that does like I don't think that he was poking fun or meant that in any kind of malicious way. I think that he was trying to make a point to the conversation. And I do appreciate that. And I will discuss that for a second because it's like if you're a guy like me that tries to get, these quote unquote real niggas to listen to you, the first thing they're gonna point out about me is my voice. That's it. It's gonna be. It's not gonna have anything to do with my attitude or my love for my people. They pick the most superficial thing and they roll with it. You ain't no real nigga. They act like like because I can say complete sentences. I was just really good in English class. You know, I got B's and A's in that motherfucker. You know, but
Yeah.
you know, they pick the dumbest things not to listen when you try to make sense. It's like let's choose the dumbass route. Let's choose the route that gets the most attention and you know and let's not choose a sensible route that doesn't get anybody hurt.
Yeah.
You know, don't listen to that guy because he's a square. Because here's how we can tell he's a square. He says complete sentences.
Man, that's
But the main thing with that is it was like the whole he talks like a white boy thing. He talked like a white boy. Like what's funny about people like that though is that whenever a white dude came around acting like a caricature of a black person, like what he felt like was black. I mean, with the the little kind of the fake twang in his voice, or like the little white girl that hang out with the black girls and has the black boyfriend. Wherever those people came around, those people were treated more black than the black guy that could say the complete sentences that knew how to pull his pants up. And it was so, and it wasn't like this dude was saying like cool stuff like, you know, y'all need to get it together, or you know, you people need to stop acting like this and make fools of yourselves. And, you know, it wasn't even like that. It don't even be like that. But they'll treat that they'll treat that white. I mean the what they call them a women. They'll treat the women better than you. You remember when I brought up DJ Vlad earlier? And how all those black celebrities and personalities was flocking to DJ Vlad and just accepted. Even Tariq Nasheed and Tommy Sotomayor having a meltdown in front of a white dude.
Well, it has come back to bite them. So Lord Jamal called them out, and so everybody's recognizing what's going on. So, you know.
I mean, but people like DJ Vlad, they made their money off us. They made it. He's made enough money. He'll always have a way to get out there. And I mean, like, what I don't get is why don't we realize this shit before it happens? You know, why are we always letting stuff like that happen? Not to be a hater or anything, but you know, because this is a country that is based on capitalism.
That's what it is.
But but my point is, we always allow them to capitalize on us. We always do that.
Yep.
And we're so cool with it, it's ridiculous. But it's like, let that have been a black man, and you know, we'll find a way to cut his knees off. Find a way, you know, unless you're like Charlemagne the God, you Finch straddle to kiss his ass.
Yeah. Well, Charlemagne the God, that's a whole nother level. That
yeah.
You know.
Yeah, that's one of the cleanest faces in America. But
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, whatever. You know, I laugh at stuff like that, but you know, maybe it's. But anyway, see what I said. Probably give this a little bit longer.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know. Growing up as the brother who tried to be the voice of reason and tried to be the voice of peace, I would say I've run into a lot of disappointments with my brothers.
And I would say I would totally agree. And I would say I wish I could have your time back so I can not give a damn. Because like I'm just serious. A friend of mine said this. A good friend of mine said this. If we knew what we knew, if we know then what we know now at 20, the mistakes we could have avoided.
Mm-hmm.
Because I always been, because remember, I told you, I remember when brothers got along, and I remember around Ice Cube in Houston, Texas, and all of that, how the dissension and the hate came. That's when I saw two brothers pass each other and mean face and mean mugged each other. I was like, wow. I saw this as I'm driving by, just watching two brothers passing each other, and they both mean mugged each other. It's like they was gonna pull on each other. I was like, okay, it's about to get crazy. Houston, Texas. Yes, indeed. I saw it when it happened. I saw that transition. So if I could have it back 20, I'd be a millionaire now. No problems whatsoever. Whatsoever.
Mm.
Whatsoever. And I would tell any 20-year-old right now, if you're listening, if you got a friend or two and y'all close, try to keep that pack close. Y'all build together. You know, just build. That's all I can say, especially economically.
But you know what though, I'm fortunate enough in my life to have friends that well, we didn't let petty shit get in our way. And we were always like, even when we have our biggest blow ups, we always found our way, and it didn't really take that long. I mean, we were cool like that. We didn't let the dissensive natures that seemingly are within ourselves. We didn't let that get to us too much. We had that competitive nature that need to be it's like we got a little sense in all of us when we get around a bunch of guys that need to be the top guy. you know,
Yeah.
Even if it's deep within us, we still have somewhat of a need. And in that game, there are winners and there are losers. But we had the one thing I wish that a lot of the majority of black men had. We had unity. We had unity. We had camaraderie, and we had friendship. And I wish for us as men to know that. Just live harmoniously. And if we're able to pull that off, then everything else will fall into place. All of us have, like, I don't know, we could have 2, 3 women apiece if we wanted to. You know what I'm saying?
You know what?
No, and it's not even just about trying to set your standard. Or everything has to be about how many women you get. For yourself. For yourself. Do better. Be the best person that you can be on your own. At
Yeah.
the end of the day.
Yeah, it's again MK Ultra. They put it right in front of us, and we roll with the way they wanted us to think. That's what they did.
Well, in that whole they thing, we have to, instead of they neutralizing us, we're gonna have to neutralize the they, and that doesn't even have to involve in neutralizing what they are doing for themselves. Is just cut the line, cut the line that connects what they're able to do to us and us being affected by it. And how we do that is that we focus on improving. We focus on our own unity, not wait for them to stop. You know, we just go ahead and focus on our own, so they have no effect if they try something anyway. Like, if you can identify the problem, you should be able to find your way to the solution.
All of the, you know what? Getting to the solution is easy as getting over the damn problem. You got to get over the problem, and you can solve that simple. But the brainwashing work, bro. That's all I can say to punch the time clock of life. I just say the
Okay.
brainwashing
All
work,
right.
and
Let me ask you this then. How long you think would it take to deprogram everything they've done?
shit, man. That's a hard ass question. Hey, probably a couple of months, maybe even 6 months.
Couple
Yep.
of-
Yeah, because it's gonna take that long just to get them to believe what they done. This is what they've done. Because again, the truth is out there. Oh man, they played us, bro. They played us. They played us generation
I
wise.
mean, but you think it'll take 2 months for them to give up a position of power? Nobody want At the end of the day, no one wants to give up power.
True.
You have to somehow take it from them, and you have to be strategic about it. You can't be blatant, or it makes you look like you're the problem.
True
And
that.
and to get out this clusterfuck of a mindset that we have as that we display sometimes as men, that's going to take some time, and it's going to take some healing. You know, at least we can give them a blueprint, especially like what I think, and nobody has to listen to me, but I believe it. What I a blueprint for what I think that the black manosphere could be. The Black Man figure showed the blueprint to black men in general. I mean, if given the chance, but we got to give ourselves that chance first. I mean, they ain't got to listen. People can learn the hard way for all I care. I just kind of just like to put that out there.
Right.
You
It's
know.
man, it's again. I don't know if even I have a solution. Like I said, I only got a little time left. If a door can open for me, then I got the two men I have to save is my grandsons. I have to get to them and at least introduce something to them.
Well, as long as you're able to wake up and breathe, you'll always have time, Gerald.
Uh,
Yeah.
uh,
I mean, I know that. I know it's easy to say stuff like that. So I understand.
but you know what? Life is a precious gift, man. Breath is too. That's why I say I don't understand. Instead of these brothers hurting themselves, they don't realize the power they have to build. I mean, that's one power, but this other side of the power, if you're trying to tell me that you can build and protect yourself, man, you're a force. Notice what I said, didn't he? If you can build and protect yourself, shit, man, they don't want that. They don't want that. They prefer men in dresses, bro. It's fact.
they quote fingers. They prefer anything that's a detriment to us black men
Mm-hmm.
and our ability to continue the race in a dominating fashion.
Yep.
It's but first, I mean, I would say the word dominating is pretty peculiar. I would say that.
Right.
Yeah.
So, so look, hey man, it's getting late up here in Canada. I'm gonna have to make a move myself too. Got something to do. But hey,
Okay, word. So thank you for stopping by, Gerald. Much appreciated.
oh
And
yeah,
you're welcome at any time.
thank you for having me, brother. Thank you for having me.
No problem, no problem. Again, you're welcome.
All right,
You're
man.
welcome.
All
All
right,
right.
peace.
Peace out. All right. Well, it's about time for me too. But I'll say a few more things, and then I'll probably head myself. It's a pretty good conversation. I like having good conversations, but I mean, one day we're gonna have to make this decision. Whether you think I'm the person to listen to or not, I'm gonna tell you what an older person told me when I was around the age of 19. He said, if you don't listen to me, you're gonna have to listen to somebody. And if what you got going currently isn't working, maybe you need to try something new. You don't gotta listen to me, but listen to somebody. Anyone who's willing to help would probably be a good starting point. But anyway, it's like we compete for a lot of things, and really is not a competition, and it does come to the point where black men seem to have this bit of dissension, and I think that is something that we don't really understand or try to improve on, because we're more worried about, and this is a lot of us men. I'm not saying me personally on this one, but a lot of us do think, a lot of us do care about what other people think, and it's and especially with a lot of guys, with a lot of females, you need confirmation and validation. Some of us feel like we need that, some of us don't. But if it's at the detriment of any kind of male unity in something that is right, then maybe you're a little wrong. I mean, and I've seen it all. I mean, I've seen it all. I've seen groups of men. I mean, and people like say, well, this is social media, this is the internet, blah blah blah. You say all this stuff, but I've seen men try to get together on social media and encourage each other to do better, and people show up calling the dudes gay and saying it's a circle jerk and stuff like that. And the men that really say all this other BS, they're the ones that's afraid of being called this stuff. I mean, I just believe in taking better stands, especially when, certain things are the right thing to say. And, hopefully the, rest of the world will join me one day. But, not to give myself all the credit, there's pretty smart, critical thinking brothers out there that want to see things improve and things be better. And, and to them, hopefully we can all get together, have a chat, share a beer, and talk about what a waste of time all this infighting and dissension is. So that's my dream. It's sort of a selfish dream, but hey, you know what? Maybe one day. So that is it for now. This is Kev, and this is Black Men Being Brutally Honest. Just thank you once again for tuning in. And for those of you that are going to watch the replay, thank you as well. Just hit that thumbnail when you see dissension among black men. What do we do? So that's it. Like, share, subscribe. In Kev We Trust. Long live the habitual line steppers.